voters don't want to leave anyway. Is that right? You want to stay here. You want to open the minds. We're going to open the mind. I see over here, Trump digs coal. Look at that. Trump digs coal. That's true.
At one point there, he had a coal miner's helmet on as well as he spoke to voters in West Virginia ahead of Tuesday's primary. Donald Trump says out-of-work miners will mine more coal under his administration than ever before. But leading up to his comments, Trump's plan for the nation's energy industry haven't included coal very much. Here to help us analyze his energy policies, Robert Bryce with the Manhattan Institute. Mr. Bryce, appreciate you being here, sir. As you listen to Donald Trump on the stump, he seems to love whatever energy policy is important to whatever state he happens to be campaigning in at that very moment. So when you look at this, is this more of, shall we say, a comprehensive energy policy or a campaign strategy?
Leland, I think it's the latter. I think it's convenient campaign rhetoric. Look, Donald Trump is an expert at telling crowds what he thinks they want to hear. Remember when he was campaigning in Iowa, he said he loves corn ethanol, despite the fact that it's a loser proposition for consumers. Costs consumers more than roughly $10 billion more per year than if they were buying conventional gasoline alone. And now he's in West Virginia, and it's a coal state, and I understand he wants to win it. But the coal is facing a lot of headwinds that I'm not sure Donald Trump can even begin to address.
Energy is clearly one of the more important parts not only of the U.S. economy but of U.S. national security. What does this campaign rhetoric of somebody who is now the presumptive nominee of one of the two major parties do not only to American energy companies but to our allies overseas who have to set their own foreign policies and have to deal with things like that?
That's a key question because really what we're facing now is a very sharp divide. I think the sharpest between the Democratic and Republican nominees that we've seen maybe ever in presidential politics when it comes to energy policy. Hillary Clinton and Bernie Sanders have both said that they effectively oppose hydraulic fracturing. Sanders has said he wants to ban it outright. Hillary has made a statement that implies very much that she would come to nearly the same conclusion. And it's occurring at the very same time that hydraulic fracturing and horizontal drilling, the shale revolution in the U.S., have allowed the U.S. to really diminish OPEC's power. And in fact, we're now exporting natural gas in the form of liquefied natural gas. And that's led to a dramatic reduction in LNG prices, which is very good for our allies, particularly in Europe, vis-a-vis their reliance on Russian gas.
Yeah, that was a key issue in the things with Ukraine in terms of what power Vladimir Putin had over Germany as well. I want to go through a couple of true falses with you in terms of some of the things that Donald Trump has said from the stump. Oil is the lifeblood of our nation. That seems to make pretty much sense. True?
Absolutely true.
All right. U.S. is the laughing stock of OPEC leaders and Saudi Arabia. That goes to the point you were just talking about.
That's just patently false. The shale revolution has undermined OPEC, and now OPEC can't make any agreement on what they're doing now because of the shale oil coming out of the United States.
All right, so fracking will lead to American energy independence, he says.
False. I've written a whole book on the myth of energy independence. The U.S. is very much integrated into the global market. We live in an interdependent world in energy and everything else.
All right, so as we look at what he has said about energy overall, you're the expert on this. Break it down for us. Is this somebody who really understands the very key role energy plays in America and how to deal with it, or is this somebody who says whatever he thinks is necessary to get elected?
Well, unfortunately, I think it's the latter. I don't hold any brief for Trump or for Clinton, but there's not anything even on Trump's website about energy. All of that said, I think if Trump were to choose to make this a more prominent campaign issue, I think it could become a wedge issue because, as I said earlier, the Democrats are opposed to oil and gas production. Hillary Clinton has said she favors reducing U.S. CO2 emissions by 80% by 2050, and Bernie Sanders is saying he wants 100% renewable. So if Trump I think this could be more of an issue if Trump wants to make it one.
Well, we'll see if he does that. Coming up next hour, we're going to break down exactly what you were talking about, where the Democrats stand on these very issues. Robert Bryce, Manhattan Institute, and obviously a policy expert when it comes to energy. Appreciate your time, sir.
Thank you, Leland.
All the best.